Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this ASUS ROG Zephyrus Duo. This is a model GX550 LXS-XS96. I believe the more broad model number is just GX550. Okay, so the model number's there. Looks like we're going to be needing a T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver to remove the screws. Okay. This is the laptop. The customer's fan is having issues. It's making like some buzzy, grindy sound. I don't know if I'll be able to show it to you. Let's try here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the screwdriver while I'm waiting. Oh, is the battery already dead? Or do I have to hold it longer? Wake up. Let me go grab the charger. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Plugged in the charger. Let's power this on now, and let's see if the fan makes the noise. Alright, let's see. It's starting up. Oh, you can't even see it because the glare. How do I stop this glare? Actually, there's nothing on the screen yet. It's just showing this. Okay. So let's see if the fan will start it. If not, I'll try using this. Let's see. Will this do it? Do I have to push the function key? Nope, nothing yet. All right, once the fan starts spinning up again, I'll let you hear it. All right, and here you go. This is the sound the fan's making. It's the one on the right side, so when we flip it over, it's going to be on the left. Let's go ahead and shut this thing down. All right, so let me shut it down. All right, geez, okay. So we gotta flip this thing over, take all the screws out. This is my first time taking apart this model, so hopefully it's not too crazy to get to the fan. Most likely the, most likely the thermal paste is going to need to be reapplied, but we'll see. Alright, so here we go. Alright, again, this is a ROG Zephyrus Duo 15, model GX550 LXS-XS96, alright? Anyways, let's go ahead now and take this thing apart. We're going to use the T5 screwdriver. All right, just get that in there. Wait, is it T5 or is it different? Oh yeah, it is T5, okay. All right, we're just going to undo all these screws. You want to keep the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and length. The way I do that is I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern I remove them. All right, if this video helps you out, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, if you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. Other than that, I do have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More. If you want to watch random review videos, if you could follow that channel, that'd be cool. That one, I'm currently posting the same videos on this channel, but I'm hoping to eventually just move them all to separate channels, so that way it's not like all mixed content. But if you don't care, because some people, they don't mind, then yeah. But anyways, let's go ahead and get all these screws out. It's a lot of screws on the bottom here. Some of them have red Loctite or thread locker. I shouldn't say Loctite because Loctite, depending what you get, can be like super glue. So thread locker, okay. So far, these two are blue, and then I believe these three are blue. The ones on the outside sides are red. I don't know if it's going to be the same for every single model, but those screws look, I don't know if it's just an optical illusion, but they might be slightly longer. Okay. Alright, this one looks red. Okay, so all of these are likely red, and then you got these two are red, and then you got the two middle ones here are red. Again, I don't know if it's going to be like that on every model, but it seems like they follow a pattern. And yes, the red thread locker screws are longer. Okay, and then they use a PH1 JS1 screw here. So, man, being tricky. I didn't pay attention, and then I used the T5 Torx 5 on it. All right, so once you undo this screw actually stays in place, and it allows you to easily pop this up. You can see. All right, we're gonna work our way around. Okay, and this one actually popped off super easily. So after just going and popping from the back here, the entire cover came off. So very nice. All right, be careful not to lose the screw. As you can see, it gets held in by a little plastic washer, so it actually keeps itself in place. And you can actually see the fans have quite a bit of dust in it. They do have pets or cats, so you can see the cat hair there. So I'm gonna have to clean that up real quick, and then I'll be back. All right, let me clean that, and I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, I'm back. So let's go ahead and continue taking a look. It looks like there's one slot for RAM. Most likely the other stick is soldered in place. There is a slight gap under the motherboard, so it's possible the other one can be replaceable underneath the motherboard, but I'm not going to be pulling the whole motherboard out to check that. The battery, let's actually go ahead and disconnect that. So the battery connector's here. ASUS likes to use this battery connector. So there's this metal tab. You do need to slide this back. So slide it. Be careful not to push too hard. I've heard some people like rip that off. You just push it off enough so that it's no longer covering this white connector. After that, you go underneath, and then you can pop this up. All right, just like that. So there, the battery's disconnected. If you're wondering how to replace the battery, I'm not going to be pulling the whole battery out, but I'll show you the screw locations. After disconnecting the battery, to be extra safe, you want to open up the laptop and then press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds to drain any residual power. All right, this makes it a lot safer to work on and greatly reduces the risk of you damaging anything, shorting anything out. Okay, so take those extra 15 seconds to make sure that you don't cause like thousands of dollars of damage or hundreds of dollars of damage to your computer. All right, there we go. There's one M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD. There's another slot for a second one. All right, I'm assuming this uses DDR5 RAM. Let me see if I can tell just from looking at the slot. I'm pretty sure that's DDR5 RAM. Okay, then you got for the battery, there's a screw here, here, and here, and then after that you can actually lift it up, but you do need to unroute the speaker connectors wires over here. The wires go here, there's a piece of tape, and then it goes here. It like goes up and down over these clips, and they both connect to this connector here. If you're trying to remove that, just use your fingernails or little tweezers, pry tools, whatever, to pull that back by wiggling it like that. All right, yeah. Okay, inside here you got the LCD LVDS connector here, I believe. All right, so this one, it's taped down, so you do have to peel this clear tape up, and then you can grab the connector and kind of pull it back. You same thing, kind of wiggle it. Again, I'm not going to pull out stuff I don't need to, so most likely, well, actually we might need to disconnect that because it's going over the heatsink here, but we'll find out. Let's see. So the fan that's bad is this one. But it's kind of interesting because when you spin it, it seems to spin normally. But when it spins really fast, that's when it kind of catches. And what's going on is the grease in there is bad. Usually with all the fine dust, it kind of gets into the little greased area. And then it causes some friction there. And then it starts just sticking and grinding. The wireless antennas are attached to the logic board. I'm going to call it a logic board, not a motherboard, because all these components are attached to it now. You can see the wireless card is here. It's attached to the logic board. Okay, we got the fan here, and yeah, it looks like definitely we're going to have to redo the thermal paste. It looks like somebody actually opened this and tried. Okay. Yeah, the wireless antennas are going over the fan connectors here. So I don't know if somebody pulled this out before. You can see how it's attached to the piece of adhesive there. So yeah, okay, it's actually letting go of the adhesive. So we are going to have to undo this adhesive and take that out. That's going to be very annoying. They put all this blue goop stuff there. That's the thermal pads, but it's the kind that's not really, it doesn't hold its shape well. So I don't know. We'll see if we can keep that in there. Let me actually take the battery not completely out, but just lift it up because there's a lot of cables and stuff under here. I kind of want to see what they are. So we're going to take the 3 battery screws out. I know this is the keyboard connector, but a bunch of the other stuff, it's hard to tell what exactly it is. All right, so we'll take those out. We're going to undo the speaker connector, and then let's see if we can lift this battery up just enough. I don't want to pull the whole thing out. Okay, so we're just going to lift this and move it out of the way. Okay, and it's all going underneath, so I have no idea what these are. Okay, this one's going over to the side here, this one's in the middle, and then this one's here, and then you also have this cable here, which is another one like the LCD LVDS connector. Yeah, I don't want to mess around too much with this because other than the fan issue, it's not having problems. Why'd I plug the battery back in? Now I gotta drain it again. All right. I was working on autopilot. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and open it up and hold it again for another 15 seconds. And then we're gonna start pulling the heatsink out. It looks like, okay. Oh, I think somebody, yeah, definitely opened this before because there was like this little crease in the RAM thermal pad, whatever you call that. All right, let's go ahead and open this up. And we're gonna again hold the power button for 15 seconds. Sorry for all this extra wait time, but it's important. All right, hold it a few more seconds. Okay, make sure it's good. All right. Okay, so all we're going to be focusing on is the heatsink, thermal pads and stuff. So let's go ahead and undo those. I think I already kind of went over all the other stuff. We're using the PH1 JS1 screwdriver to undo the screws here. Okay. And I don't know what they did working on this. Probably replace the thermal paste. I hope there's no liquid metal in there because that stuff, I don't have anything to replace that. And yeah. All right. Also, liquid metal's kind of scary to work with. It like can drip all over the place. So hopefully we don't have liquid metal in here. All right, we're gonna get the 8 screws out here. I don't know if I should have zoomed in or not, but all right. Now we're gonna have to also disconnect these cables. So let me zoom in here for you guys. All right, we have the black and white one. So you can actually see they labeled it black and white there. So we're just gonna go from the tail and then just pull up. You might have to use from 2 sides, just like this. Okay. All right, then we're gonna go ahead and pull these cables out. So let's see, the tape is holding it. Which side should I peel up? Let's peel up this side. Okay, and then we're gonna just pull that cable out of the way so it's no longer covering the heatsink. There's another screw over here that we're gonna have to remove. Actually, for the fans, there's 2. So we're gonna remove this screw down here. I'm assuming the other side has the same 2 screws. And this screw over here. Okay, we're gonna go to the other side and we're gonna do the same thing. Get those 2 screws out. This screw here and this screw here. All right, we're gonna have to take this cable out as well. Actually, we might not even have to take the cable out. We might be able to just move it over, but let's see, depending how much slack. Yeah, it makes more sense to take it out. Okay, so let's go ahead and peel this adhesive up if we can. It helps to use something like this little plastic razor blade. Okay, so we're just gonna try and get under there. Wow, this adhesive. I don't know how the previous person, I don't know if they actually removed it or they were just kind of taking stuff out and then decided never mind, because the adhesive here looks like it's not been touched. I'm going to use this tool as well to kind of get under there. Okay. And then peel this up just like that. And then we should be able to at the wings, I use my fingernails, but I kind of just wiggle and pull it back just like that, and we'll set that aside. All right, so what's next? I think we got all the screws and everything holding it in place. Okay, so now we're going to have to pull the heatsink out. So this is going to be tough. Usually the stuff here sticks really well, so you kind of have to kind of wiggle it side to side. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but we're kind of twisting it to loosen up the thermal paste and everything. You don't want to pull on these tubes because they can bend, and if they bend, you're going to have some problems. So usually what I do is at the corner of these little square parts, I kind of lift from there. So while I'm kind of wiggling it, I'm just slowly lifting. And this is kind of, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of loose now. We're just slowly lifting, okay? You don't want to try and pull it up quickly because you don't want to destroy anything. You don't want to bend any of these pads. You don't want to rip any of the components up. We're just slowly wiggling and slowly lifting, okay? And there you go. You can see it's slowly coming up. Again, be very careful. All right. Also, we have the fan connectors under here now that we need to disconnect. I don't know how I'm going to show this, but it basically disconnects like the speaker connector. So I'm going to go from here and then just wiggle with my fingernails to pull it out. There we go. And the same thing with this side. Wiggle to pull it out. Okay. So now we got the fans out. Wow, you can see they got like cat hair and stuff stuck in there. Okay, wow, this one has like a big chunk. Look at that. You see that? And that's what's ending up messing this stuff up. For all this blue gunk, I would kind of like put some of this into the center so that when we put this back down, it will just smush back on. You can see how it overflowed a bunch. So we're gonna try and clean that up. And wow, okay, they did use liquid metal. So there's not really a way I can reapply that. Liquid metal is scary. I'm scared to mess with that stuff. So we got to be careful because there's all that liquid metal, and we are going to have to cut these little things out. So I'm going to need a good razor blade here. So this fan is held together with melted plastic, but it's also at weird angles, so it's going to be difficult to remove. Okay, so the fans were this way. So this one's the one that should be having the problem. Okay, let's see how we can do this because we don't want this to touch any of the surfaces we're working on. We don't want it to leave that goop everywhere. So let me set some stuff aside here. Okay, and this is the one we're after. Okay, let's see, how can I release this fan? It's all held in with adhesive, so it's very annoying. They put adhesive all over this stuff. We're gonna have to use, I'm gonna use this little tool just to poke under this little gap here. I don't know if I can show you, here we go. So get underneath that gap so we can peel this up slightly, and then we're just gonna continue peeling it, and hopefully it's not gonna stretch and leave some issues. Just slowly work our way down, peeling this. There we go, there's the fan. And wow, look at all that gunk in there. Okay, it might be a good idea for me to take the other fan out and at least get this, you can see that dust in there. So I'm gonna just go to the trash can next to me and then brush that out. Some of the blue gunk, because it's overhanging, is getting on my hands. Kind of annoying. Alright, so basically just brushing the fence with a toothbrush. And here you can see it's a lot cleaner now, okay? You don't have any more of that gunk sticking to it. It still has like a fine powder, but it is what it is. All right, so let's go ahead and clean this fan. All right. We can now clean the bottom as well. The bottom actually isn't that dusty compared to the top, so not really an issue. Okay, the biggest thing is how are we gonna separate these two layers? Let's see. Because on this one, you see these? So these are like melted plastic that just hold the thing together. I'm gonna need a small razor blade. Let me see if I can do this with the one that I keep on my keychain. Alright, so we got this. I can try cutting it with this. Let's zoom in here. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut open this fan, because if we can't fix it by cutting this open, we're basically going to have to replace the fans. So we're gonna just slowly slice at this. Okay, just keep working it back and forth, cutting it. All right, and be careful not to like slice into your hand. So go slow. There we go. There's one. I don't know if there's any hidden underneath these things. Hopefully not, but I see 4 of them so far that are visible. So we're gonna just continue working our way to slice these off. Okay, there's 2. Here's the 3rd one. Okay, there's 3. Oh wait, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then there's 4 right here. Hopefully I got everything in view of the camera. I wasn't really looking up to make sure I was recording it. Alright, so you need like this, like a scalpel kind of thing to cut these. Ooh, jeez, that was scary. This in the way a little bit. How am I gonna, let's try cutting it the opposite direction now. You do need to cut downwards slightly. Okay, this one, I don't know if I got, oh, okay, I did get enough of it off. Okay, and then the last one here. All right, now I did put a crease on this plastic here, but I have no other way. Okay, the problem with this one is it's in a little groove down here, completely surrounded, so I can't really go in that flat. I'm kind of having to just go at a weird angle, and I have a feeling I'm gonna end up cutting the other stuff, so I'm gonna have to like go from both sides and just slowly work my way in. And maybe once I cut enough I can just break it off. I don't know, this one's gonna be a maybe I can just wiggle it like this until it falls off. This one I might have to just snap it off because I don't think I can cut it with the way it is. Or maybe you can also probably melt it. I don't know. This one is scary. I'm gonna end up cutting my hand, I know it. Let's try and cut this way, but it's hard to cut this way. Yeah, it's harder for me to cut that way. So we're gonna just continue trying to cut like this. Oh, okay, maybe I can get the blade underneath and just slice like this. Yep, that's working. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see if that's all of them, or I think there's none hidden under there. So we should be able to, yep, lift that off. Perfect. Okay, so here's what the fan looks like inside. I know somebody's probably gonna be like, you should do both fans. The other fan's fine. Okay, so I'm not gonna mess with it. Okay, these propellers are hard to get off too. So hopefully, I don't know if you can see from in here. Okay, there's the ring for the center of this solid piece here. We're gonna try and push on that. You have to evenly push from both sides. Okay, so wherever you can, push as evenly in the middle as you can, and just push it straight down, and hopefully we can pop this out. Jeez, I don't know about that. It's not moving. I don't think we can repair this fan. Oh man. One thing I've seen people do is they spray like a really thin lubricant into like the holes here. But then you pretty much get that stuff everywhere. So I kind of don't want to do that, but I might have to because this one doesn't want to budge. Oh, God. Let's see. Again, from the centers. Yeah, I don't think it's going to budge. It doesn't want to budge. Oh God, somebody's here. Hold on, I'll be back. Okay, let's see. It doesn't want to come out. Let's see, how am I going to get this? I might have to use my old method, but I kind of feel like this one is just held in too strong. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that out. Come on. Jeez. I need smaller fingers probably so I can reach further in towards the center. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have any other way to do this. I can definitely feel like the grease is crunchy in there, like when I wiggle it like this. So, if there was a way to kind of get the grease to go into this little hole and then just drip straight down, that might be a possible solution. But it's looking like... Oh, did it work? No. Oh, yeah. There we go. Actually, I got it. Okay. So I was able to push hard enough, and there we go. We got the fan off. Okay, I almost gave up there. Anyways, we're going to have to drip some grease into there, and we're also going to clean this off. Okay. So we'll just get a paper towel. We'll get this, and then we'll clean that up. So there we go. All right, next we're going to drip some oil into this thing. Okay, so to do that, you can use whatever. I'm just going to use this small screwdriver, okay? And I'm just going to dip some oil onto it. This is just synthetic motor oil, okay? Any lubricant designed for moving parts should work well, okay? And we're just going to drip it into the center there. Go, just like that. Okay, if you want, you can clean off the outside excess. And what we're going to do is we're going to plop this in there, spin it around before we push it into place. Okay, take this back up. And then we'll clean this off. We'll put a little more oil in there and then repeat the process one more time. And that should take care of the grinding issue. Okay, if you want, you can put a little oil on this as well, but all right, shouldn't need it. All right, there we go. Clean off this as well again. All right, then we'll get this in. All right, let's clean it off one more time just in case, and then we'll add one more tiny drop of oil. Okay. Go ahead, and I just dip it into the oil slightly. And then drip that into there. Okay. Clean it off one more time. All right, and let's pop this back in. If you're wondering why it grips in, you can see if it focuses. Okay, you can see the shape of that. It has like a little thing that kind of, it grabs onto that. It's like clicks and then grabs onto like that little groove. All right, so let's go ahead and get this back on, spin it, and then click it. Make sure you push straight in the middle, and you hear it click, and there we go. All right, hopefully the fan isn't lopsided to where it's gonna start grinding on the thing. It looks like it's okay. Okay, you should also, when you wiggle it like before, it feels different. I don't feel that grinding anymore. Okay, so we should be good to go. The blue gunk, we're gonna have to figure out what to do. Let's go ahead and put this back on top. Line up the little cut off pieces. All right. Just like that. And we're gonna have to reseal this with some tape, okay? If you want, you can use some glue, but I'm just gonna use tape so that way if we ever need to take it back out or anything, it's gonna be doable, okay? So we'll just get scissors here. Here's the roll of tape. Peel this. Okay, and we're just gonna cut a piece like this. All right, now we're just gonna cut thin strips from this, and then we're gonna tape it over. So just like that, cut a thin strip. Okay, for the big flat side here, we can go ahead and stick this on. Oops, hopefully you can see. Stick it on like that, and then just wrap it over the top. Okay. On the other sides where there's not much surface area, you can see here, we don't really have much area to grab, so we're gonna have to cut a much thinner one. Okay. And then we're gonna wrap it on here. Okay, this one we can actually wrap over both sides, so that's good. So wrap it over, push that, and then wrap that over. All right, just like that. And then we're gonna go over to this side, and again, we can do a somewhat big one on this side. There we go. And then do it kind of close to the hole. Oh, we don't need that piece, is too long, so we're gonna have to cut some of it off. And then wrap it over. Okay. Piece that I cut off, I'm gonna use to stick it as close as possible here. Okay, stick that down. All right, so we're almost there. We can go ahead and put some over here as well. All right, this one doesn't have much area to grab, so it's probably not gonna stick, so we're gonna have to just stay close to the connector there. So we'll cut another piece. Stick it on there. And again, we'll wrap it over. We do need to trim it. Wrap that over. Okay, again, we'll take the excess off and stick that on. Just like that. All right, we have one more area over here we can apply. We'll stick it over here. Okay, stick that on and wrap that over. This one is just barely too long, so we're gonna just cut a little bit of it off. Wrap that over. All right, so that should be good. Now you can see the two layers are holding together. And we should be good. Pretty much we have tape where almost all these plastic things are, except this side. We can't really do anything about that. Well, kind of. If you want, you can have it going into where this screw is, but that's not really going to hold much. But, okay, let's go ahead and put a little bit there just because. All right. Oh, I got this last piece here. Let's see if we can stick it there. Like that, push it into the groove, and then wrap it over. And we need to cut a little bit of this off. Okay. And then we're going to put the screw in there and it'll hold it a little bit. I put it halfway over the hole and then the screw will kind of push it into there and hold it. Okay, let's go ahead now and reassemble this thing. So we got this piece here. We're going to go ahead and get the fan back over. Okay, just lines up like that. And then while you kind of push it in on both sides, make sure everything lines up. Make sure this lines up. Okay, the most important is this area here with the little screw mount holes. Okay, hold that in place, and then you can push down the adhesive here. All right, can't even tell I really took it out unless you flip the fan upside down. Okay, this side the fan's not too dirty, so I think it's okay to just leave it. Let me see. I'll try and peel this up and then take a look. But we gotta be careful because there's all this gunk and stuff on it. Alright, so let's try and peel this side up as well. Might as well, since we have it open, just to see if the vent is getting clogged. That, and not really. We took this out for nothing. It's not really even dusty. All right, well, we can clear that. Actually, there was a tiny bit of dust caught in between this plastic layer here. Okay, so at least it did a little something. All right, let's go ahead and get this back lined up. Okay, hold that in place and then slide your finger over to tape that back down. Oh. Okay, tape that back down. Good. All right, now that we got that all taped back into place, we can go ahead and try and get like this gloopy stuff more towards the center. So that way when we push this back down on top, it's gonna gloop back out. See all this excess that's just going over the edges? That we don't need that on the edges, you need it on the chips. So we're gonna just move, oops, hopefully, okay, you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, so I'm just gonna move that excess back on top. So that way when we go to put this back down, it will smush it back out to the edges again. Especially since we don't have this kind of paste. Okay. Okay, we're just trying to get a little bit of it over the components. Okay. Basically push it towards the center. Okay. Come on, get back off. Oh no, it's stuck. I need a second one. Hold on, Oreo. Okay, get that towards the center. Get that stuff towards the center. Actually, this stuff is kind of more dried up. I don't know if it's gonna, this one took a lot of heat, it seems, because it's not as pasty. I don't know if you can see how this stuff is more goopy. ones towards the middle is more solid. I think we should be good. All right, I'm definitely gonna have to redo the thermal paste. The liquid metal can be reused. So we're just gonna go ahead and clean up the GPU here. Oh, I'm gonna have to hold it over a trash can and scrape that off real quick. All right. Scrape this off. There we go. So we scraped off most of it. We're gonna have to clean it with isopropyl alcohol. Alright, so we got that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the motherboard as well. We have to scrape it off of there as well. Okay, so move this out of the way. So we need to scrape off the paste from here as well. It's actually not too bad. It's a little bit, you can hear, I think that's just the letters that are etched on it. Yeah, the letters are kind of textured. Okay, I'll get this off. So I'm gonna have to turn this upside down to get this all on again. And the liquid metal I can kind of even out with a not a toothpick, Q-tip if you really wanted to, but there's plenty of extra, so when we put the thing on, it's just going to smush it back out, so it shouldn't be an issue. Okay, I need to flip this upside down to get the old paste out. Alright, we got most of it out. Now we're going to have to use the paper towel to get the rest. Alright, so we're just going to wipe this. Stuff on the edges, don't worry too much about it. Alright, and wipe this off. Alright, let me go grab some isopropyl alcohol and I'll be back. Alright, back. We're just going to get a piece of paper towel here. Put some isopropyl alcohol on it. And then we're going to wipe this. And then dry it. Alright, we're going to do the same thing with the heatsink here. It's off to the side, but... Okay, there we go. Same thing, use the wet side to wipe it up. And dry it. Okay, not bad. All right, we'll move that out of the way. And now we'll reapply the thermal paste and then reseat everything, and we should be good to go. All right, so let's get the thermal paste here. You don't need a crazy amount. This piece is a little bit big, so we're getting like some cat hairs going in there. Okay, don't need too much. Gonna need a second tube. I need a little bit more than that, actually. Okay, and we're gonna put a little on each corner here. Oh, way too much. That's actually more than enough on the corners. Okay, so there we go. I'm gonna shape this out. It's a little bit of a rectangle, not like too rectangular, so we do need to make it a little bit more long than just a circle. Okay. All right. Try and get it evenly blobbed. Okay, And this stuff spreads super thin, so it might not look like a lot, but it's actually gonna smush itself really flat. Okay, so this is, oops, that's what it looks like. Okay, and you can actually see they put like way too much liquid metal. There's like a huge blob there. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and hold these two cables out of the way. Okay, and then we should be able to just drop this back into place. Rotate it, flip it back over the right way. Okay, so we'll get this in and slowly lower it. Oh. Okay, and the fans we'll have to get in first. Actually, the fans, if you peel this up, they drop into place on their own. So let's peel this up actually. Drop the fans in first, then we can go ahead and plug them in easier. Okay, make sure you plug it in the right way. You can see on this side it has like the exposed pins. You want that actually face down. Okay, make sure you don't put them upside down, and then pinch the two pieces together. Same thing with this side. You want the exposed pin side face down. Okay, and then pinch that in. All right, there we go. Line everything up so that it's in the right place. Okay, oh, all this blue stuff is kind of just going everywhere. See this blue gunk? Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead now and flip this back on top. Carefully lower it down into place. Make sure everything lines up. Okay, line up the little thing there and the thing on this side. It's actually hard to drop it in when the fans aren't connected. It's wanting to stay on top. Oh, maybe because that cable was in the way. Okay, there we go. That's weird. All right. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to put back the screws that were holding the fans. So we got this screw here, and then this screw here. Okay, the other side, same thing. The screw up here, and the screw down here. Now that we got all of that, we can go ahead and push the adhesive back down onto the fan. This basically just creates a seal so the airflow is better. Okay, then we got to get these cables back in. So let's go ahead and zoom in here. So you do need to lift this adhesive back up. Oh, it's not really sticky anymore, but there you go. And we'll get underneath here, lift that back up, and get these cables back under there. Alright, and then white one is at the top and the black one is on the bottom. So just line it up. Oops, sorry, I don't know if you can see. Alright, and then once it kind of catches on the little antenna thing, that's when you know you can push it down. So make sure it catches, because you don't want to, there you go. So if you're like lightly putting pressure and it catches, then you know it's lined up and you can go ahead and click it down. Right, same thing with the black one. Okay, it's caught. There we go. All right, so now we got those into place. Make sure these wires kind of stay out of the way of the cover. Oops, I'm too far zoomed in. Okay, make sure you keep these cables out of the way of the cover, and then tape this down. All right, then we got the LCD LVDS connector here on this side. Lift that up, get over here, and then same thing with this connector, just line it up. Okay, line it up, make sure it goes in straight. Okay, and then use this to pull both sides, or you can use your fingernails on the metal connector to pull it in. You should feel it kind of click in. Make sure that goes in all the way, because if you start the computer with it slightly out, it's going to cause some bad problems. All right, so make sure that's out of the way again as well. And I think we're pretty much done here. We can go ahead now and click this back down. Battery connector. Oh, oops. Let's go ahead and put in the heatsink screws first to make sure it pushes the thermal paste in. You can see they're numbered. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm assuming that's 6, and then 7, 8. All right. It's hard to see it, so let's go ahead and put screw number 1. Oh, that's one thing. You got to make sure you see this piece. It needs to be back on top. It went underneath. Oh no. Oh no. Seriously. Okay. I'm going to peel the whole piece up here. Okay. And I'm just going to separate it, because that way we can just pull it out. So slowly, carefully peel this up, and there we go. We can pull that out, and now we can put this on top. So that was just like this. All right, just like that. Okay, let's go ahead now and do the screws. Okay, hold that out of the way. Screw number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess we'll just tighten it down because it's already held in place. Screw number 1. Screw number 2. Alright. Screw number 3 over here. Screw number 4. Okay, go ahead and push that back down. All right, and what do we got? 5, okay. Screw number 5 is over here. Number 6. Number 7. And the last one, number 8. Okay, let's go ahead now and reconnect the battery. Just like that. Push it down and then slide this metal tab back over. Good. And then we'll get the cover back on, and that's pretty much it. We just gotta let it run, see if the fan goes crazy again. It shouldn't, all right? But if it does, you're gonna have to replace the fan most likely. All right, so let's go ahead and get the cover back on. Just get everything lined up. Work your way around. Get in this one corner screw. Okay, switch back over to the T5 Torx 5 and get all the rest. All right, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Again, if this video helped you out, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Again, if you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. Other than that, I do have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More. If you want to watch that kind of content. If you don't, it would still help if you could subscribe there and then just turn off the notifications. But yeah, other than that, let's get these last few screws in, power it up, and make sure everything's running well. Again, you want to make sure to keep all the screws in order. If you didn't already, then, I don't know, you might have to go back and make sure, because some of the screws are shorter, very slightly shorter, and some are longer. And if you mix them up, you can cause some damage. I don't know if the previous person that took this apart put them back the same way. They do seem to follow a pattern, so I'm assuming they did do it right. And I didn't see any damage on the other side, so yeah. All right. And whoever took it apart, I'm surprised, because normally they just throw all the screws into a little container and then mix them all up. So I don't know if they were doing something to make sure they put the right screws in the right place. But yeah, you want to keep track of your screws. If they are in a different layout than these, let me know. It does seem like it's okay if that's the case, but nevertheless, it's always good to put the screws back in the same place you found them. All right, so there we go. Let's go ahead and flip this back over, plug it in, and test it out. Okay, get this plugged back in, and it's powering itself on. Or, I don't know if it's powering itself on, but the light's on. Let's see. Also, the main battery usually acts as a CMOS BIOS RTC real-time clock battery. Keep that in mind, because usually when you disconnect that battery, it will take a while to start up the first time. So right now, I don't know if it's supposed to be turning itself on, but you can see the keyboard and stuff is lit up. Oh wait, there. You can see that little screen is... Why is the little screen lighting up first? Where's the big screen? So anyways, you can see it's working. I'm most likely going to have to restart the computer one time, just to make sure that everything is working well after disconnecting and reconnecting. Oh, there we go. And here you can see it's working. But usually after any kind of big work, you want to restart the computer one time. So it is good. I'm going to restart one time just to make sure. And then basically we just got to listen to the fan. It sounds normal right now though. I can hear the fan. I don't know if you can hear it. There you go. It is spinning and it's not making that grinding sound. So we should be good to go. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, let's drop this. Bye. Okay, I know some of you guys were probably shouting at your screen going, "You forgot to plug back in the speaker." Okay, here, I'm going to plug it back in right now. All right, there you go. All right, it's plugged back in. And I think that's pretty much it. We got everything. I'm just going to close it back up. See you guys later. Bye. And just in case you don't believe me that the speakers are plugged in, we're restarting it right now. And there you go. All right, that's it. See you guys later. Bye.